Ladies and gentlemen, the Reconciliation and Development Association, RADA, is going to be running a health campaign, a digital health campaign that is focused on unhealthy diets and the domain of non-communicable diseases in Cameroon. This health campaign is very important, it's very serious. This health campaign is meant to educate the people, is meant to educate the population, to educate everyone about the problems that we can have and that we are having from unhealthy diets or unhealthy foods that we are eating. And the first part of this campaign that I'm going to be launching out with you today is going to focus on the background. Why are we running this campaign? What has made us to run this campaign? RADA is really interested in the fact that the food choices that we make are making us sick. The food choices we make are making us sick. By way of background, what is the problem? What is the challenge? The first thing I want to share with you about the challenge today is that globally, 7 out of 10 deaths, 7 out of 10 people who die from non-communicable diseases. This is based on World Health Organization statistics. 7 out of 10 people who die from non-communicable diseases currently in the world. 7 out of 10 people who die. The second thing I want to bring to our attention is that 74,000 people die from non-communicable diseases in Cameroon every year. Think about it for a moment. 74,000 people. What's the third key background information I want to give you? In 2016, unhealthy diets took over from tobacco use as the number one risk factor for developing non-communicable diseases. In 2016, unhealthy diets took over from tobacco as the number one risk factor for developing non-communicable diseases. Before I go further, let me remind you what non-communicable diseases are. Diseases are divided broadly into 2 categories: non-communicable diseases and communicable diseases. The communicable diseases are the ones we've been hearing about a lot. We've been hearing about malaria, which is caused by mosquitoes. We've been hearing about HIV. We've been hearing about these bacterial infections and so on. But we've been hearing very little about the non-communicable diseases, which are cancers, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases like hypertension, stroke, heart diseases, chronic respiratory diseases, as well as mental health disorders. These are non-communicable diseases. They have 5 risk factors. Unhealthy diets, which I just mentioned, has taken over from tobacco as the number one risk factor. Tobacco use, alcohol use, physical inactivity, that means not doing exercise, and pollution. These are the 5 major risk factors that cause the 5 categories of non-communicable diseases. Category 1 of non-communicable diseases is cardiovascular disease conditions. Category 2, diabetes. Category 3, cancers. Category 4, we have chronic respiratory diseases. Category 5, mental health disorders. Now, what's the next fact? On average, close to 50% of Cameroonians drink more than 3 cans of sugary sweet drinks a week. That is too much of sugary sweet drinks. And what is that leading us to? about 60% of pupils, 60% of pupils, pupils are those going to primary school. 60% of pupils are experiencing tooth decay. 60% of pupils are experiencing tooth decay. That's your teeth is decaying. You can move over to any hospital that has a dental unit and ask them how many children they are receiving that come with tooth decay. 60% of pupils in Cameroon are experiencing tooth decay. That is a lot of tooth decay in the country. What's the sixth background? 1 in every 4 persons in Cameroon is obese. 1 in every 4 persons in Cameroon is obese. And what's the next fact and figure I want to share with you? 60% of people that are living in urban areas are eating ultra-processed, unhealthy food products. 60% of people living in urban areas in Cameroon are eating ultra-processed, unhealthy food products. What does that mean? This simply means that 60% of the population of Cameroon living in urban areas is at risk and in danger of developing a lot of diseases that can hardly be cured, especially if not diagnosed early. Diseases that drain a lot of income from the family. Diseases that are difficult to treat. Diseases that are painful to the individual, they are painful to the family, and they are painful to the entire healthcare system. Our healthcare system is still struggling to grow. Efforts are being put for the healthcare system to be strong. But why can we not prevent the diseases that our healthcare system is not even very ready to treat? If someone falls down here with a heart attack, if someone falls down here because they have a cancer, and now our treatment rates are so low that few people survive cancer in Cameroon. We don't have the kind of equipment to treat, and we all hear every day how many leaders travel abroad to go and get medical care. How many of you are able to go and get medical care? To our leaders, we need to help our population so that even if our population cannot travel abroad to afford care, at least let us make policies that are going to prevent them from developing these disease conditions. We ourselves as leaders were exposed to these disease conditions. While we can get treatment, the best thing we can do for our people, for our children who are experiencing tooth decay, our children who are consuming these products, is to pass laws, pass regulations, pass restrictions that prevent excess consumptions of these products, that regulate the food industry so that what they are producing is a lot healthier, and the choice of determining what to consume and how much to consume should be in the hands of the consumers, not in the hands of the producers, by virtue of what they produce and how much of the nutrients of health concern they put inside to attract and addict the young generation. So healthy food choices matter, everybody. Let's regulate unhealthy foods and save the next generation. Bye-bye.